Hi, and welcome to the Big Bear Homestead. And it's trapping season. That's right, it's the 2016-2017 trapping season. So in this series that we're putting out on Saturdays, you guys are going to come with us as we walk our trap line.
Alright, so the very first thing we do in order to get ready for trapping season is we put our traps out so they can get a little bit of rust on them, so that way it's easier for them to accept the dye. We usually put them out about September, October. Then we collect a 5-gallon bucket full of black walnuts, and then we soak these black walnuts in that bucket with water for about 24 hours to start the leaching process. Now, we come out the next morning or the next day and we get our fire started up underneath our dyeing barrel. Now, this is the barrel that we use to dye all of our traps. It's got years upon years of black walnut holes in it. And as you can see, we just pour them in there. And what we do is once we pour them in there, we build the fire up because we need to bring this up to a boil. So, while we're waiting for it to boil, we just gather our traps together and we inspect our traps. We're looking over to see if any springs are busted. We look to make sure everything's a-okay. Look to see if there's any damage done from the previous year. Make sure all the swivels and stuff are on it. It can all be done rather quickly. And then we just get some wire and we'll wire them up in groups of 5. Now, we use this wire method in the groups of 5 for our foothold traps, like the ones that you see here. These are the ones that you're looking at right now, are the ones for beaver. They're the Big Duke number 4. Now, these traps won't receive any wax, but our other footholds, our MB550s, and those that we use for fox, bobcat, and coyote, they will receive a wax coating, and you guys will see that in a later video. But these traps here are mostly always going to be in the water or around the water, so the wax coating won't do anything but, believe it or not, make them dangerous for us setting them. We just lob them together in groups of 5 to get them ready to be put into the dyeing barrel. So once all these traps have passed their inspection, make sure all the swivels are still good, pan's still good, dog's still good, the coral springs are still good to go, then we'll just check on our water, and as you can see, it's starting to boil. We'll gather up the traps and we'll take them out. Now, once we take them out, here we'll place the 2 bundles. You can only place so much in this barrel without making it overflow. Just place the traps down into the boiling dye, which will then cool the water off. It won't be at a boil, so you got to add more wood to the fire. But we place them in there and we let them sit in there for anywhere, depending on the size of the traps. Like the 330s, they only sit in there about 45 minutes. We let the footholds, those groups, they sit in there closer to an hour. Once they're done, we remove them from the barrel, and then we shake off all of the black walnuts, which you'll see Blaze do his very bad Elvis impression right here. And he's shaking off all of the black walnuts and any chunks of holes. Then we take them into either your trapping shed or your shop. And as you can see, we hang them up to dry. And like I said earlier, most of these traps that we did for this video will not receive any wax. Okay, so that's what we do in order to prepare for trapping season. So now, let's get everything together and let's go out and do the trap line.
First check, our first day on our trap line this year, and it looks like it's off to a good start. Carol got herself a possum. All right, so we're going to dispatch this guy, and we're going to go on and continue to check our line.
Boy, we really tore up the possums this first week. You got this little feisty guy here that we caught down by the creek bed. We caught him in the coon cuff, and he was pretty feisty, let me tell you. Then the next scene you're going to see is where we caught our first double of the season. 2 possums. You got the one in the lower right hand corner and the one in the upper left hand corner, or reverse that depending on how you're looking at the screen. This set, we're really hoping that it's really going to pay off for us. It's coming right off of a beaver dam, and there's like 3 or 4 trails that lead to this set. Here's the second double of the season in that same area. We're really hoping that this set really starts to pay off with coons for us once we thin out the possums. Well, that does it for our first week on the trap line. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'd like to see you guys come back next week with week number 2 on the trap line, where we're hoping we'll be able to show you guys some coons and some beavers. Till next time, have a nice day.